Hey guys, Fraser here from rugbystrengthandconditioning.com. Listen, I'm just uploading the data that we took today with our guys on counter movement jump, CMJ. And I thought I just might make a video, share with you some of the numbers and also why we do the test. So let's talk about it. One of the metrics we look at with CMJ is your jump height. Now that's old school, but it's still really relevant. And that's because it gives you an indication of whether you're getting the adaptations that you want or not. So in simple terms, if you're jumping higher than last time that you tested, then you're more powerful, you've improved in your relative strength, which is fantastic. That's exactly what we want. And that's why you can use the metric to kind of guide your interventions. If you're focusing on strength and power and your counter movement has stalled or it's gone down, then that'll either tell you that your intervention hasn't worked or perhaps you're neurally fatigued. So that's another reason why in profiling athletes we do CMJs, because there's a relationship between neural fatigues. So jump data might be collected at the start of the week and it might be collected at the end of the week, typically after a game. You know, there's a whole host of fatigue and it ties in with the readiness to train. So for example, if someone is a 50 centimeter jumper and all of a sudden they're 10% off that today, you know, you'd go into reasons why. Maybe they had a lot of game minutes the day before, maybe they didn't sleep, maybe there's a whole host of factors, and then you can make a decision on, you know, how to modify training there and then. So that's one way it can be used and is used with athletes, just by looking at the metric of jump height. Now beyond the metric of jump height, you can look at things like time to take off, you can look at force asymmetry, so there's a whole host of things that you can really do with this, and sports scientists will get into real detail when they're profiling their athletes, whether it's daily or whether it's the start of the week and end of the week. But if you're watching this at home and you're a regular athlete and you're wondering, you know, can I be doing CMJs? Should I be doing CMJs regularly and monitoring it? I would say absolutely yes, because it doesn't cost you anything just by looking at jump height, because you can set it up in many different ways. You can use an app on your phone, you can go old school and set it up with chalk on the wall. So what it does give you though is this, if you're doing it monthly, is this progress over time of whether your program is working, or if you go into a specific power block, you can see that, okay, I've made some adaptations there. Maybe if you're in some sort of endurance block or your training's more focused towards that, then you know that it's going to be down, and how do you offset that? How do you maintain your power when you are focused not on power? So it really is a simple thing that can be done. I said I'd share with you some of the jump heights we got today, so let me do that. And guys, we keep our hands on our hips just to keep the upper body completely out of it. We're just looking at lower body power here, okay? So Tom got 63.4 centimeters. Santi, our center, got 55.8 centimeters. Gelly got 52.5 centimeters, Ricky Gelly. We had our prop, Salvo, who got 42.5 centimeters. So look, if you know rugby, props don't jump, okay? We don't have Salvo jump on the rugby pitch, but we do have Salvo do a bunch of plyometrics which are appropriate for him, ballistic work, loaded ballistic work. So, you know, and that's all a way to develop power. When he started with us, it was down at 30, because he hadn't done that type of training, because the old sort of rationale is that, well, props don't jump, so you don't need to get them jumping. But we're not jumping because we jump in the rugby pitch. We're jumping to develop our lower body power, and we're monitoring the CMJ to understand if we've ticked that box or not, if we made a difference. So guys, this really, you know, hopefully it gives a little bit of clarity into why we use CMJ. There's many different ways it can be used, and this is a really simple metric to look at, jump height, and it's not everything, but it's not wrong just to look at that if you're focusing on, you know, changes over time on your power, and you know, you're not part of a professional organization and setup, and you just want to understand a simple metric to show you a simple outcome of your training, if you're getting more powerful or not in the lower body. Okay, of course there's many other things you can look at, but that is one simple thing that you could be doing monthly in your training. So hope that helps. If you have any questions about it, fire in the comment section and I'll get back to you. Cheers guys, thanks.